If you are above the age of 18, stop flirting with minors online and in person. Crazy take, I know. If you don't know already, my name is Jackie, and there are probably no other videos on this channel, to be completely honest with you, but that's just for right now. And I know this is kind of a coming in hot way to start off a new channel, but I just felt like a crazy, undeniable, unfading urge to talk about something that is super creepy. I just really have been seeing all this crap on my For You page and on YouTube, and I was just disgusted by this creepy TikToker's behavior, so I thought I just had the crazy urge to just speak about it, just so I can get another take out there. YouTubers like Nick Is Not Green and Pyrocynical, I believe is his name, have commented on this already on YouTube, but with all of the grooming accusations for internet personalities as a whole, not just TikTokers, YouTubers, I just think that with all the controversy going around about that type of like child endangerment going on right now, I just decided I have to chime in because this one is just insane to me. Like, when you guys see these clips, it's gonna be kind of ridiculous that this is even something that this guy's refuting. But yeah, today we're gonna dive into what's wrong with this behavior, and I'm gonna really dumb it down to the simplest of terms for those of you who still may struggle to see why this is like not okay and why it kind of toes the line of being illegal. But as well as that, I'm going to also share some personal experiences and throw in a little jokey joke here and there because at the end of the day, I'm just a girl. So you're probably wondering, first of all, who even is this tall knight guy? As you can see from the title, that's what this is about. Sorry if I didn't say it and that makes you feel weird, but this is the tall knight guy. This is actually his second account since his first one got banned. And apparently he's just, a freak, basically. For those of you who may not know, because I didn't know, he's just this freak TikToker who wears a nerd helmet and posts your typical TikTok content. His just also includes and like really hones in on thirst traps to his predominantly underage and child audience. So it's just, weird from the beginning. There's been a handful of different controversies and accusations that this TikToker content person has been accused of doing and has been involved in. We're not going to get into all of that because, listen, there's some scam stuff. I have no idea about what's going on, and I'm honestly not as pulled in that direction as I am the disturbing stuff that we're going to talk about today, just because it's not the most disturbing stuff to me or incriminating stuff to me, the scam stuff. So I'm gonna leave that to somebody else. If you're interested in this video right here, you can go watch this. I will link it below if you really want to know everything. If you really want to know everything else he's done. But I'm not getting into the scam stuff today because I just don't care. Also, just want to give a disclaimer. I will be reading a few things from this article as well, and it ties in just because, you might see some stuff about the scamming thing if I'm scrolling through it and you guys can see it on your screen. I'm not going to go into that scam stuff, but if you see it on here, I know nothing about that. I'm not endorsing any of the comments on it or anything else I don't really mention. Most everything on here that I will be mentioning has screenshots to back it up, and there's other accounts of different people backing it up. But a lot of stuff has also been deleted to my understanding. Plus, I could take it the extra route and go and look into all of this stuff and try and like unearth some things. But again, I'm not a journalist. I'm here for a little bit of just look at this crap with me and let's talk about why it's not okay. But yeah, basically, Tall Knight is just this 19-year-old who, as you can see right here, according to knowyourmeme.com, which I know, get new sources, but this is just the only place where it is. Look, it's about TikTok beef. Basically, he has allegations for a whole bunch of stuff, including screenshots and firsthand accounts of writing sexual suggestive comments to minors, as well as DMing minors on Instagram. And he has also been promoting his OnlyFans, Patreon, and Twitter account to said minors because there's links on his TikTok account to each of these. And I believe his Twitter is literally advertised as 18 plus and NSFW. So not really great to have that linked. Not saying that you can't have it as a influencer, but to have that linked on a social media website where you know it's predominantly children or like underage minors are your audience, probably not the best place to link that. Just FYI. But yeah, there's a lot of other good stuff on here. I was about to call this an article, but I feel like that's the wrong title for knowyourmeme.com. I actually have no idea what's going on with this down here. But if you have time, you can feel free to read through that. The bulk of everything is going to be on Professor Pippi's page. That's where a lot of my references come from. He provides a lot of the screenshots so that I don't have to look them up. So yeah, let's just get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I got banned because of this.
Nope, you were banned because you were marketing your adult content to your child fan base on TikTok. Like this video where you dance provocatively to a spicy song after one of your fans said they want to see it grow. And when you take 2 seconds to look at the girl who commented that, she is very clearly 15 years old. And when people who were concerned about this confronted you, you wouldn't even take down the video. Like this video where you announced you are now making adult content, and this fan of yours is really excited, and look, you commented back to her. And again, 2 seconds to click the profile, she is 13 years old.
Yeah, so already there, that's my issue. Just to, like I said, goal of this video is just to point out for the stupidest person alive why this stuff is wrong, okay? Like, look at this. Why are you even marketing this type of stuff on a platform where you know there's kids following you? And I know that can be said for most TikTokers. Like, I think that there is some blurring here that you don't understand once you hit 19, but I'm making this video so that you understand, like, it's not okay. You are now not a kid, you're an adult. Act like it. If you know that you have a big chunk of your audience being minors on TikTok, because a lot of minors are on TikTok, unfortunately, you don't link stuff that says 18 plus on your Twitter. Like, that's not something that you need to promote. And then even having the intent of putting that link to your Patreon where you do have access to the NSFW content on your channel where you have a predominantly minor audience is not okay. If it's just not linked, that simply, I feel like, does a lot more to kind of absolve you of any malicious or disgusting intent. Like, if a minor, listen, if a kid's gonna find something, they're gonna find something. Like, if they still go and try to look you up on Twitter and they want to subscribe to that and steal their parents' card, pay for it, pay with their own money, whatever, you know, at the end of the day, you can't really control that. That's a little bit, that falls more on the parent. But if you are just making it that much easier for these kids to find your inappropriate content on your platform where it's like catered to them, that's fucked up. That's like not normal. That's not normal at all. Whimpering audios, like, what even is that? Nude pictures and dick pics. There's 15-year-olds and 13-year-olds watching him, guys. That's what I'm saying. I would never, like, you should not do this. Do not do this. And you're gonna see why I'm defending the fact that he even put that on his page in the first place, because when he responds, the response is, excuse you, the response is weak, but he basically deflects. Let's watch.
As usual, these hilariously desperate accusations can be disassembled with basic logic, so allow me to elaborate.
Oh, shiver me timbers.
So to put it simply, there is no NSFW content on my Patreon.
Yes, because you deleted it. Does this look familiar, Tall Knight? Did you not think I would have the receipts for everything? I have all the videos, all the photos, and all the audios from before you deleted them. You can lie and cover your tracks all you want, but you marketed and sold this stuff to children, which is very concerning considering your history with minors.
Attempting to make me look bad in front of your meat-riding audience for views.
I don't need to attempt to make you look bad, brother. You do that all by yourself.
And again, yeah, see, I didn't put it on my Patreon, it wasn't linked, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't in there, blah, blah, blah. He just put it up, okay, sure. But the fact that it's even on there already, I have an issue with that. You guys can understand it's just inappropriate to even make it that easy for your minor audience to find. But then on top of that, you have this Twitter, which Twitter doesn't have a paywall. Hey, so I was actually going to talk about how Twitter does have a paywall if you have like the premium subscription set up on Twitter now, on X, I guess. But I double checked just to make sure, and actually Tall Knight does not have anything of the sort on his page. It is very blatantly NSFW. Actually, the first the first video that I guess is pinned on his account is literally an NSFW video of his girlfriend, I'm assuming, with no pants on. Obviously can't show that on YouTube, but just thought I'd let you guys know I take back what I was about to say. Do not do that. And you just know, because you just know that you're marketing that stuff to children at that point. So Twitter is built to have an older audience, and so that's why I'm like, no, I understand having an NSFW Twitter, because a lot of creators do have that. I went to school with a bunch of people who, do that type of like sex work on Twitter. It's a better application to do it on. Well, not a better application to do it on, but it makes more sense to do that type of content on Twitter because it's an older platform, an older audience. TikTok is not that type of audience. There's so many children on TikTok. So just to take a look at some of these weird ass, creepy ass conversations. Anyway, this 15-year-old girl, I believe, says something probably out of pocket to this adult man, and this adult man responds, "Am I allowed to elaborate, or would you like me to go?" And then she says, "Elaborate?" Because what 15-year-old girl wouldn't respond to a person that they think is hot on the internet, even if they are an adult? It's your responsibility as the adult, if you don't know, to not respond in that way or to diffuse that conversation, which should be common sense. Anyway, she goes, "Elaborate," and then he goes, "I just mean your eyes. They look so full of creativity and unblemished kindness, maybe some dark thoughts behind them, but laughing face. I don't know. It's what I was captivated by." Okay, so I just did some digging, and I guess I'm never gonna be able to find the full background of this insane response, but basically the rest of it gives you the same context. It's inappropriate to talk to kids this way. "Dude, you are so far out of my league. The fuck? I'm hella intimidated by you, LMAO. Unless it's just, I'm just intimidating in a creepy way. All right, well, time to refresh my notifications for the next 2 hours until you respond. Hooray, you're back." First of all, let's take it from the perspective of you and I. I'm 23. We're both 23. We're talking. If you ever send me back-to-back texts like that because I'm not responding and you just keep going, that is already weird. That is already weird and kind of creepy. What makes it even more creepy and predatory is when it's an adult speaking to a minor, regardless of the gender, but speaking to a minor in that way and repeatedly sending texts and then making note of when somebody's back, like you're stalking them. Let's relax. Also, one thing that comes up with Detal Knight is that he keeps saying that this conversation is PG. Just because your messages are not outrageously explicit and outwardly disgusting and explicit, that does not mean that it is or it ever was appropriate to send these messages to a minor. These messages are still suggestive in nature, which, let's not play dumb, he knew that already. And that's not appropriate it's not appropriate to speak suggestively to a kid that way at all. It not being illegal is not an excuse, because speaking like this to kids, if you are watching this, I assume that maybe you've watched To Catch a Predator before. It is mostly content like this that evolves into even more sexually explicit content online, exchange of pictures, and then intent to meet up, which gets you thrown in jail. So if you ask me, this is a gateway into being picked up for being a PDF file, as somebody else said on this app. And then he keeps going. He says, "I'm basically begging at this point." I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen. "I'm basically begging at this point," sad face with a little tear, "just waiting for you to tell me to go away because I don't got the willpower to stop talking to you otherwise. Either text me back faster or block me because the suspense is just making me more obsessed." And let's go back to what he said to justify it at the beginning.
"All I did was compliment her and then tell her to tell me to go away."
All I did was compliment her and then tell her to tell me to go away. I assume he means in a joking manner. That would make more sense if it wasn't an underage girl and it wasn't more than one message joking about going away. This is repetitive message after message. You basically bombarded this girl with compliments, which is suggestive, and all these comments are suggestive. It is flirting, and just because it's not illegal technically does not make it okay. It's predatory behavior, and it's honestly just a gateway to you getting locked up, you making intent to meet up with minors, which is grounds for you to go to jail. If that is something that I saw in one of these comments or these text exchanges, or I'm sure any of these guys that are involved in this story today, if any of us saw that, yeah, I'm pretty sure I would call the police. He also continues to just go ahead and downplay every single thing, including the fact that, there are Romeo and Juliet laws, which he clearly doesn't understand the point of, or actually has never probably read into them. Here's what he has to say.
In the state of Ohio, where I live, the age of consent is 16.
When crossing state lines, which this is, it is illegal. And now finally, I rest my case.
It is still illegal. And also, just to add in, Romeo and Juliet laws, some states have decided that the way that age of consent laws and statutory rape charges are enforced and enacted doesn't always make sense. As a result, 12 currently have so-called close in age or Romeo and Juliet laws. These laws ensure a difference in charges and punishment for sex between similar age teens, even if one is legally an adult. Though charges may still come under Romeo and Juliet statutes, they tend to result in shorter terms of incarceration, less post-release supervision, and rarely require sex offender registration. But it does not mean that it is legal. It's just saying that you might get a lesser sentence. It doesn't make this any more okay. The fact that you're 2 years older and that you live in Ohio, where dating a 16-year-old is fine. The fact, like Professor said, the fact that you're crossing state lines is already illegal federally. And then also on top of that, Romeo and Juliet laws are not going to protect you from going to jail. Let's be serious. I just also want to go back a little bit to the lewd pics on Patreon thing, just because I believe that, going from I have no lewd pics on my account, which is something that he said in the earlier Professor Pippi video, going from there are no lewd photos on my account to there being proof of his tears being on there, including NSFW content, that you couldn't even open technically, is still, like I said earlier, weird to have that linked on your TikTok account where there are minors that are your predominant, overwhelmingly most of your audience base. I can't really believe him when he says that there was nothing posted on there, because then, as we saw, Professor comes out with screenshots of deleted videos, deleted photos, dick pics, stuff like that. That was on his NSFW Patreon from screenshots of, I'm pretty sure, the people in question, the kids in question that were on there in the first place. You can't go from there were no lewd pics to, oh, actually, I just didn't upload anything because I didn't even know that you couldn't upload stuff on Patreon. That doesn't make it better, number one, because like I said, linking it is weird. Number two, the blatant lie there, because we saw, was that Patreon or was that Twitter? Just to set the record straight, it was Patreon and Twitter when I looked back at the Professor Pippi screenshots or videos at the beginning. You can tell that it's both platforms because he talks about being a $10 patron in one of the screenshots. And just to expand, because I forgot to keep going on this idea, it's just the blatant lying for me. I don't understand. Part of my issue with Tall Night is the fact that he's just doubling down and his lies don't make any sense. There's no correlation, which I don't think I have to prove any further than what I've already shown.
You got banned for marketing OF content to children. This is me on a burner account. You can pause to read the messages. I'm not going to do all that because it's a lot, but the comment he's responding to in this video is left by an underage girl, and he's using it to market his OF content. This is said comment, which he is responding to, blatantly sexual. It took me 2 seconds to click on the comment thread and find her account. Click on it, and it has 08 in her bio. She's fucking 15 years old, and he's responding to that comment. And he responds by completely denying any accountability. I, as a content creator myself, I check someone's profile before I even leave a joke that could be perceived as sexual to see if they're underage. That's just kind of the responsibility you have as a fucking adult man making content online. He continues to deny accountability by saying he's not marketing to minors, but all the comments that he likes in his comment section, you can't check now because he's banned, thank God. But it's all little kids that he's liking these comments and responding to, because adults aren't consuming this shit, bro. Adults don't care about your stupid little helmet. So I gave him one more chance to do the morally right thing, and so you're gonna leave it up. I asked him, like, straight up, you're just gonna leave that up knowing now that that is a 15-year-old girl saying she wants to watch your dick grow. The video was posted a week ago. It's not getting any more views.
So as Chase says as well, just using a message from a minor about talking about the NSFW content on his page, that's already just iffy, because why are we involving minors with your sexual content? Let's be serious. Let's be normal. We need to have boundaries. As a content creator, you need to have boundaries with your child audience. And that is just something that is just missing from the brain cells of these people in the last couple of years, and honestly the last year. Colleen, you just really can't believe anything this guy says based off of everything that I said earlier. Oh, I did already say all of this earlier. Oops, I wrote my notes out of order. Yay! My main issue with him is just that all of this behavior is predatory, and he just does not seem to get it. He seems to keep doubling down and keep trying to dumb down a lot of his actions, cherry pick evidence, act like the evidence isn't there, as if we're all blind, dumb, and as if he doesn't already have the overwhelming burden of truth weighing down on his shoulders. There are so many screenshots that these guys on TikTok, Chase, Professor Pepe, his friend, your favorite, whatever, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, all of these guys have compiled against this guy. So much evidence that's being turned into them by the teenagers in question who are being talked to by the Tolonite, and he's just kind of coming back and acting like he's not doing anything, gaslighting his audience, gaslighting all the other adults that are calling him out. And it's just really, disheartening to see. And part of me, none of this is okay, right? I'm making this whole video to talk about how it's not okay. But part of me is like, wow, this kid is 19, so it's hard to kind of, as I can see how he probably doesn't understand how much responsibility he does have. He's probably just like, no, I'm just on TikTok and it doesn't matter, because that's just how dumb young guys are. But if you're going to be on TikTok, you need to pay more attention to who you're marketing to, who you're advertising to, who your actual audience is, because you can get into a lot of trouble, and it's just unethical at the end of the day. It's just kind of sad. I hope that he grows up and just gets real about this stuff, because it's just not okay. Even as a 19-year-old, you need to look at the facts at the end of the day. This would not slide. You are literally 1 to 2 steps away from going to jail for this if you try to meet up with any of these minors. Okay, so sorry about the glare on my glasses. I'm literally like cutting this video right now. I actually took a few days away from editing this video after I filmed it, because I have a day job, a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. And I just couldn't get around to doing it. I couldn't force myself to do it whenever I got home. Anyway, not the point. I'm glad that I did take the time I did, because I circled back to the TikTok accounts of Professor and Tolonite to see if there was any new information just before I upload or anything. And lo and behold, we actually have a whole confession coming from Tolonite. A confession for you won't believe what. Listen here.
So you admit you did send explicit photos to this 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, that's absolutely my fault.
Okay. Yes, that was Tolonite admitting to me that he exchanged explicit photos and messages with a 16-year-old girl back in May. So with this 16-year-old girl, how many separate times did you send explicit photos? Like a separate time?
It was just once, because
Okay.
she added me the night before, and then I ended up unediting her the following day.
To explain, a few days ago, a new 16-year-old girl came to me with her story about Tolonite. Now, instead of just coming out with a story like last time, I decided to leverage this proof with him to try to gain a confession to once and for all in this. And What exactly was it? I'm assuming it was like your.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. You just heard Tall Knight confess to Professor on, I guess, Discord that he has not texted the same underage minors we were talking about before, but a new 16-year-old girl who actually has showed proof, has sent Professor her license as proof that she is 16 this year. She's from the United Kingdom. We have on record him confessing to sending an explicit photo, at least one, to this minor this past year or so. That is extremely illegal, and this is exactly what I was afraid of and exactly what I was saying. This is actually illegal territory, and I don't know how it works, and I'm not really going to get into how it works with overseas cases or anything like that, but as you can see, Ohio state law says that no person shall sell, give, or send obscene or harmful materials to a juvenile. Ohio's legislature wrote the law broadly to cover a wide range of behavior, and this law applies to teens sending obscene matter to each other, like intimate photos or videos as well. And, you know, it obviously applies to anyone older than 18 sending nude photos or sexting with a person younger than 18. This is a crime. Punishments range from forfeiting cell phones, electronic devices, staying away from and having no contact with the alleged victim, you know, sex offender treatment, and I guess registration, and other provisions to protect the child in question. The punishments seem like a gray area, but it is literally written in his laws that that's illegal. I really hope that the girl in question does go forward to the police and reports him or something, but of course, you know, that is, I feel a little bit iffy about, you know, saying that still, because at the end of the day, it is her business and her family's business, and if they do not feel like they want to go to the police with that because it violates something for the girl in question, the victim in question, I definitely respect that. But I hope that, I don't know, I hope that somebody is able to literally report this guy, because that is a felony.
I've been called sociopathic in an unfathomable amount of times in my life, because I just try and see the world in like pros and cons, like a spreadsheet almost. I base my decisions on what's most beneficial.
Now, I for one have no idea why he actually admitted all this stuff and thought I wasn't recording, but luckily for us, he did.
And him making the sociopathic comment is just really stupid. I feel like he's really just trying to sound smarter than he is. Dude, just get off of the internet.
Oh look, this must be a video of Tall Knight apologizing for sending explicit photos to a 16-year-old girl.
So we know for a fact that this girl is a liar. And now at this point, I'm almost certain that this girl is in fact not 16 to begin with.
Oh look, it's the ID I had her send me when she first contacted me. 1/10/2006. Well, in the UK, as you can look up, it goes day, month, year, so that is in fact October 1st, 2006, making her a whopping 16.
And as you just saw, that's her license again, because Tall Knight is once again showing his pattern of behavior and doubling down on a lie, or on doubting whoever the victim is coming out against him, or the people trying to expose him for things that he has said and admitted to and done. I'm assuming there is proof of what he has sent to this underage girl. I don't think there's much more to add other than that. Professor just kind of shows the same stuff of him, you know, admitting to what he's done and admitting to what he's sent to these underage girls. So it's really just a matter of time with this guy. Like, if there's anyone else out here with that same level of proof as the girl, the 16-year-old from the UK, and they're willing to go to the police about this, he's going to jail. I hope that somebody else out there has evidence of him doing this and shows it to the authorities at least, so we can at least get him off of the internet. They can at least take his account away. It's just not okay. And this is exactly what I was afraid of. This is exactly what I was talking about. Flirting with minors online, while it may not be a R-rated conversation, is not appropriate. Flirting with minors has never been appropriate. And like I said, it's a gateway to something illegal, and this is something that is illegal. You know, once the proof gets shown to the police, he definitely has grounds to get arrested and charged with something. And then last off, I just kind of want to show you guys this last TikTok because I hope he doesn't come back after this.
On my way to a job interview, so I'm not able to make a proper TikTok. But if you're at all interested in what really happened, I address it on my YouTube.
Do I need to repeat myself about how the Tall Knight is clipping videos of other creators and making it seem like that's vindicating him for these basic sex crimes, sex offender crimes? Because nobody's telling him that no one's telling him that he's good. And what he addresses on his YouTube is literally nothing. He just lies. He doubles down and lies like he did, like we just watched him do. Anyway, this shit is a mess. I really just hope he gets off from online at the least, but the max, I really just want him to go to jail. Like, I feel like you need to go to jail. This is illegal, right? If it's illegal in Ohio, I mean, I think you should go to jail, but I guess the least, what did it say? The least you'll get is a slap on the wrist, basically, getting your cell phone taken away. If that's the least you can do, I mean, do it. I don't know, guys. Really weird. Really not what I expected to see. But again, you know, I'm glad that I waited and saw this because now my opinions have definitely changed. I changed my mind on all of the, he's 19, he's young, maybe he just needs to learn. This is now illegal. This is now a crime if there's evidence. And I personally believe, my opinion, you don't have to agree with me, even though that's weird if you don't. I think that you should definitely face some type of charge, some type of punishment for sexting as an adult from Ohio. Have the life you deserve. I hope the rest of you guys enjoyed this video, or at least take something from this video, and I hope that we don't have many more grooming allegations or child endangerment allegations come up on this website because it's getting really scary out here. And I just hope overall you guys have a great day. I might post something next week. So stay tuned. It won't be as serious as this. This is probably going to be the only serious video on here. But yeah, have a great rest of your day.